Hi everyone! So today I have a tutorial for this really cute Winnie the Pooh charm. I created this charm myself. It is based off of my Mickey and Minnie Mouse charm designs, so if you've already made those on one loom, it's pretty much almost the same thing. And yes, this design is on one loom and you can use any type of loom to make this. And I can't wait to show you all how to make this, so without further ado, let's get started. So today you will need any type of loom. You will also need your hook and bands in the colors of red and yellow. You will only need a little bit more yellow than red, as well as one C-clip and an optional clear jelly band. Before we begin, I would just like to say that this design is pretty advanced. It is slightly easier than my Mickey or Minnie Mouse on one loom, so if you have made any of those, you should be able to make this design. It does take slightly less bands than my Mickey Mouse design. This design doesn't take too many bands in my opinion, but if you are low on red or yellow, then you may want to check and make sure that you are able to do this design. So with that said, we are going to go ahead and get started. So first we're going to start with our loom's arrows pointing down, and for all parts of this video our loom's arrows are going to be pointing down. So if I don't specify, then you can trust that we're starting with our loom's arrows pointing down. So first I'm going to start with my yellow bands, and unlike the Mickey Mouse design, we are going to go ahead and just start on the head. Now this is the same exact design as Mickey Mouse, so if you had made him or Minnie Mouse, then you should have an idea of what this design looks like. So we're first going to be making half of a hexagon, so you're going to go 3 bands here. Now we are going to switch to red bands and close off the hexagon, or half of our hexagon. Each side is going to have 2 bands. So 2 bands on this side, 2 bands on this side, and 2 bands on this side. So now we're going to go ahead and start the inner zigzag formation of this design. So you're first going to take a yellow band and go vertically, diagonally, now for this next one, you're going to go off this same pin here. And now we are going to switch to red bands. At this point, we are going to pause here for a second. Now you are going to take double red bands. Now the reason we are taking double red bands is because this band that goes vertically here has a high amount of stress on it later on. So we're going to use double for extra support. And go ahead and push your bands down. And we can now start the inner perimeter. So we are going to line these 3 sets of pins here. So you're first going to take yellow, and another yellow. Now we are going to take 1 red, like that. Now we are going to go ahead and do a little inner zigzag, or a bunch of bands coming off of this middle pin here. So you're first going to start with yellow bands. Now we are going to switch to red bands. And on this vertical band here, it does have a lot of stress on it, so we are going to use double red bands. Now we are going to add a cap band onto this middle pin here. You can choose red or yellow bands, but I'm going to use a yellow band for my cap band. You're going to take this band and wrap it 4 times around this pin here. So wrap it 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we are going to go ahead and make the ear for Winnie the Pooh. Usually I use just my hook and hands to do this, but I realize that many other kids have trouble using just their hook and hands to make chains, so I'm going to show you all a different technique to make single chains. So for this, you're just going to need any 2 pins. It doesn't matter which, because we will be removing the bands off the loom. Here is my Winnie design here, and I'm going to start around where the empty base plate section is. So I'm going to be using these 2 pins here. First, you are going to take a cat band and you are going to wrap it twice onto this first pin. So once, twice, and now you're going to twist it across the center to make it figure 8 here and put it onto this next pin here. So we now have a double loop here and a single loop here with a little figure 8 in the middle here. Now you are going to take double yellow bands, double yellow, and put it onto this pin here. Now you are going to take your hook and we are going to hook over the bottom bands. So you're going to grab both layers on the bottom here, the bottom 2 layers, and hook up and over the pin. So hook up and over the pin here, like that. Now you're going to go to this very right pin and hook over the 1 bottom band here, like that. Push your bands down. Now you're going to add another layer of double yellow bands. Add it to the top. And now we are going to hook over. So grab the bottom bands, hook up and over the pin, grab the bottom bands, hook up and over the pin. Push your bands down. We are going to do this one last time. Take double yellow bands and move them across here. Now you're going to take your hook and hook over the bottom bands. Bottom double bands here. And release like that. Now you are going to grab both ends of this single chain that we have here. You're going to pick up this end here with your hook. Be very careful during this part. And you're going to slide your hook through. So you want to put that onto your hook. Now you're going to stick your hook into this pin. Grab the bands like that. You should now have a chain link of double yellow bands, and you should have 3 chain links total. This chain link here is going to be Winnie the Pooh's ear. So with these bands that are on our hook, we are going to transfer them to this pin here. So we're going to grab a hold of them, stick them onto this very middle pin here, like that. Now we are going to find the cat band that we put here. It should be a triple loop band and it should be pretty easy to spot. A little circular band here. You're going to stick your hook inside and transfer it to this pin here. Like that. So you should now have a double single chain going from this pin to this pin. Now what you're going to do is grab the whole chain link with your hook. Don't just grab the top band here, you want to grab the whole entire link. So grab all the links here and you're going to stretch it up and put it over this pin here. Like that. So now our whole chain link is stretching around this pin here. And now we can start the hooking process. If you are still not prepared to move on to the hooking process, feel free to use the pause button. If not, we are going to go ahead and start hooking. Go inside the cat band, and the first band you're going to hook is a red band that's going downwards. So grab that, and remember this chain that we're hooking here is double bands, so pick up the top 2. Now we are going to hook the next red band here. And then the yellow band here. Like that. Every time we start the hooking process on a new section, we are going to start at the bottom of it. So we're going to start doing the inner perimeter bands. Go to the very bottom. And next you're going to hook this yellow one here. Now we are going to go ahead and start doing the big zigzag pattern around here. You're first going to go into this bottom band here, and you're going to pick up these bands that are going downwards. Remember, these are double bands, so make sure you grab the top two. Next, we're going to pick up these single bands here. And then move on to this pin here. And now you're going to pick up these last bands here. Now at this point, we are going to finish this half of Winnie the Pooh off with this big perimeter bands here. So you're going to start at the bottom, reach inside this pin, and grab the red band. And basically this is probably one of the easiest parts of the hooking process. Just hook the single chains going around here. And sorry, my fingers and my elbows keep skidding on the table, which they make funny noises. So for this one, you're going to make sure you go inside all of the bands here, including the bands that we attached on for the ear. Do the same thing with this. Make sure you go inside all of the bands here. Like that. Your loom should now look like this, and we are now ready to take this off the loom. Please make sure that you do not remove the bands on this pin, because this is our end with the loose bands. Otherwise, you can remove everything else. Now you should have something like this. This is literally half of Winnie the Pooh. So now we're going to go ahead and make the other half. So I am starting in the middle of my loom with my arrows pointing down now, and you're basically going to start doing another half of a hexagon, except you're going to do a mirrored image of what we did last time. And I am going to go a little bit faster during this part just because I am always going really fast and you guys have an idea of what we are doing already. So after you finished off with the red bands, we are now going to go ahead and do the big zigzag-like figure inside. So this part is where it gets a little bit different. You're going to skip this first band here and go straight to the diagonal one here. And then continue on like normal. Now we are going to switch to red bands. And now we are going to go ahead and skip this vertical band here. Now we are going to line the inside of this with inner perimeter bands. So first you're going to take one yellow, then one more yellow, and a red. Now we are going to go ahead and do the little starburst pattern that kind of goes on the inside, except we are going to skip the band that goes vertically, and then you're going to go diagonally with your yellow band. Now taking a red band, you're going to go with the next step and skip this next band that goes vertically. So basically we have skipped all the bands that go vertically on the far left side. Now we are going to go ahead and make another ear for this side of Winnie the Pooh. For this step, I will be following the same technique that I showed you earlier, and I am going to go a little bit faster this time. So I'm going to use just 2 pins for this. Take one yellow band, wrap it twice around one pin, like that. Now I'm going to twist it into a figure 8, place it onto the next pin over. Now I'm going to take double yellow bands, go across. Now taking my hook, I'm going to hook over the very bottom band, picking up the bottom 2 on this pin. Push my bands down, taking double yellow bands, and hook over the bottom bands. one last time, taking double yellow bands. Now I'm going to hook over the bottom bands here. Now we are going to go ahead and pick this up on our hook. So you're going to take your hook and slide it inside these bands on this pin here. So you're going to go in and grab all these bands with your hook, like this. And now you're going to do the same thing with the other side. Stick your hook inside the loop here and pull it off the pin. So now we have transferred this onto our hook. So basically we have 3 lengths here of double yellow bands, and now we are going to transfer this to our loom. So here I have the little extension piece that I made. This is going to be the ear. So we're going to transfer this onto this middle pin here. So I'm going to stretch my bands a little bit, stick my finger inside so I can transfer it to this pin here. Now I'm going to go ahead and stick my hook into these 3 bands here, which are basically my cat bands. You should see here my triple looped bands. Now on my hook, and I'm going to transfer these onto this next pin over here, like that. So now I have my link that goes across these 2. And what we're going to do is basically take all of the links on your hook, pick them all up. Don't pick just like the top few up, you want to pick all of them up. And you're going to stretch them and place them on top of this next pin over here, like that. Now we are going to transfer our other half of Winnie the Pooh onto this half that we have on our loom here. This is one of the hardest parts, so try and be patient. So you're basically just going to take your hook, stick it inside this pin, and grab all of these bands here. Now I'm going to show you one small easy step that can make the process a lot easier. So first set your hook aside, and you want to take 1 clear band or 1 yellow band. If you don't have clear, that's okay. You're going to pick this band up here that's at the very top of your loom and place it onto this vertical pin here, like that. Now you're going to take your clear or yellow band, go vertically on these 2 pins here. Now you're going to pick up the bands that you had on this pin that you moved originally and put it back where it belongs. So we have basically now just added a vertical band going here. Now we are going to take the half of Winnie the Pooh that's on our hook and transfer it onto our loom. So these bands that are on our hook are going to go onto this very top pin here. So go ahead, kind of stretch the design out and grab the bands that are on your hook. Transfer them there. Now we are going to go ahead and we're going to find the cat band in the middle of here. So find the cat band. It should be pretty easy to spot. And you are going to stick your hook inside of it, like that. Now you're going to stretch it to the middle pin here. This should be the pin where you have 1 yellow and 1 red. Now you're going to stretch it carefully and place the cat band onto this pin. So basically these 2 halves are going to share a cat band. There. Now this is probably one of the hardest parts here. We have to attach some bands onto this pin here. You're going to kind of stretch your design and find a little intersection where you could see kind of an X formation here. You're going to stick your hook into here and transfer them onto this pin. Now, if you are unable to find a place where you have 2 bands that intersect together and 2 bands that go outwards, you're going to take any random bands on this side. So just choose a couple bands and put it onto this pin because it doesn't really matter in the end. But if you want to do a more advanced version, you're going to stick your hook inside these bands here. And you're going to grab them with your hook, transfer them onto this pin. This is probably one of the hardest and most confusing parts of this design, so it's okay if you don't get it on your first try. Now we are going to transfer the rest of these two links here, and this is very easy. So as you can see here, we have a link of bands here that is double bands. So it should be pretty easy to spot. Should be the last link or the bottom link on your half of Winnie the Pooh. You're going to pick it up on your hook, stretch it down to the very bottom, and place it onto the pin, like that. Next part is pretty easy as well. You're going to stretch your design out, and you should see a big loop here. My loop is right here. It should be made of double bands, and you're going to pick it up with your hook, stretch it onto this pin here. And we are now finally done with the hardest part, and we can go ahead and do the hooking process on this half of Winnie the Pooh. So first, I'm going to start in the cap band and pick up this red band here, and then the yellow band. Now I'm going to start and do the inside perimeter bands, so go inside. And I am going to go a little bit faster on the hooking process here, and pick up the top bands here. Now we're going to go ahead and go to the bottom big zigzag around the perimeter. Go into this big loop here, grab the red band, and hook downwards. Go to the top band here, or top pin. And lastly, in the zigzag portion, like that. Now we are done with the big zigzag around here, and we are going to finish off with the perimeter bands. So start in the very bottom pin. And be careful when you're hooking on the pins that have the ears attached to them. Lastly, we have this one vertical band here. Mine's kind of hard to see because it's clear, but you're going to go ahead and hook that one vertical band as well, which shouldn't be too hard. Now you're going to go ahead, make sure that your loom looks like mine, and we can go ahead and add our C-clip. So take your C-clip, I have mine here, and you're going to slip it onto this chain here, this one single chain link, like this, and now you're going to carefully remove it off of the pins. We have now finished our Winnie the Pooh, so you can now remove it from the loom. You can remove everything from the loom since our loose end is secured with a single chain and a C-clip. So here's what I'm left with, and we now are pretty much almost done. You just gotta stretch out your Winnie the Pooh so that way you can give it a little bit of evenness, so that way the bands aren't sticking out in random places and everywhere is even. And we are done! So once again, this is my own original design. I really hope you guys like this tutorial. It is basically based off of my Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse designs, just has a little bit of a change with the buttons and ears. And yeah, So don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked this video and if you made this project successfully. And I am so happy that I got it on one loom. I think it opens up so many more opportunities for you all that only have one loom. Also, you can have a chance to win another loom in a lot more bands if you enter my 10,000 subscribers giveaway. Linked in the description box below is the video for that with all the information. So don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Pinterest. My username is tutorialsbya for both. I am currently setting up my Facebook and Twitter accounts right now, but I am not completely done. But as soon as I am done, I will be posting pictures on Instagram, letting you guys know. And also, I am now posting on Tuesdays and Fridays because I started doubling up on posting tutorials on Fridays, so I decided to space them out so you guys don't have to wait so much anymore. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video again, and I will see you guys in my next tutorial. Bye!